In setting, the upper body should be symmetrical, the ball above and in front of the forehead, feet shoulder width apart, right foot slightly forward. This is a good way to learn to extend the arms fully as you set the ball, as no leg extension is possible. We recommend setters practice this on a daily basis. Hands should be above the head before the ball reaches the setter. Setters should practice footwork every day, both with and without the ball. The last two steps should be left-right with knees bent. The right foot and hips should be pointing in the direction of the left front attacker, no matter whether setting the ball forwards or backwards. It is important that after the set, the body weight is forwards over the right foot. Here we see the setter spinning off her right foot when setting the ball that is well off the net. The left leg is used to control the speed and the degree of rotation by extending outwards. It is important for the setter to get into position as early as possible. Observation of the flight of the ball and identifying the peak point will help the setter to move to the correct position in order to produce a good set. Notice that when the setter returns to the net, she faces her passers, but her peripheral vision should still allow her to see the opposing blockers and if a ball coming over hits the net and drops on her side of the court. If the setting distance is great, extra power can be generated by hopping off the right foot. For a back set, the setter should try to have the same body position as for a front set. This will hold the blocker. She then sets the ball over the right shoulder and rotates in a clockwise direction to be ready to cover and also to see her set. And here we ask the setter to set the longest set, varying the direction of the pass to challenge her. Here we see a series of exercises using the wall to help setters with movement, good footwork and hand contact with the ball. This drill emphasizes the use of the core of the body while setting. Varying where the ball must be set from greatly assists quality setting from an off-balance position, which often happens to a setter. This drill is used to emphasize quick feet and facing the direction of the target for a forward set. Since setting is often required from an out-of-system situation due to a poor pass, the ability of all players, not just the setter, to set a 5-and-5 set is essential. The set is called a 5-and-5 because the ideal hitting position should be 5 feet off the net and 5 feet inside the sideline. This creates problems for opposing blockers with timing and block alignment, something they would not have if the set were close to the net. It is also important to teach your attackers to adjust their hitting approach to attack this set efficiently. In this drill, the player in right back is asked to 5-and-5 set her own dig to the 5-and-5 target zone. This time, she intentionally digs the ball to a new position to create movement into the 5-and-5 set. 5-and-5 sets should also be a high set to give the attacker time to get a good approach, since deception is not an element of this set. This team drill is designed to improve 5-and-5 setting. Players follow the ball as they rotate around the drill. Note the use of bounce feeds by the coach. This variation is used to further challenge the athletes and emphasize the need to face their target when setting. The main purpose of the jump set is to contact the ball earlier and create less time for preparation of a good block or defensive positioning. It should not be attempted at the expense of loss of setting accuracy. Left-right footwork can still take place. The contact point with the ball should be such that the ball may be set in a forwards or backwards direction from that point. Many teams have their own system for naming the different sets. Here we see one of the more common systems, where sets in front of the setter are numbered, with the exception of the high outside set, which is known as a hut, which is quick and easy to call. The net is divided into zones. In this case, zone 3 is approximately 10 feet from the ideal setting position. In more complicated systems, more zones will exist. The fastest tempo sets are the 1, which is just in front of the setter wherever the setter is positioned by the pass, a 31, which is the same speed as a 1 but set to zone 3. Zone 3 does not move no matter where the setter is positioned. Second tempo sets are the 2, which is always just in front of the setter regardless of where the setter is at the net, or the 32, which is a 2 set through zone 3. Sets behind the setter are given letters, so a first tempo set just behind the setter is an A, no matter where the setter is positioned. But the second tempo set to the antenna is known as a D and is always at the antenna. Here we see an example of a 1. The hitter tries to be in the air as the set leaves the setter's hands. Notice how the attacker watches the ball make its way to the setter in order to get the timing correct. An example of a second tempo 2 set. A 31 through zone 3. Again, the hitter attempts to be in the air as the ball leaves the setter's hands. Here is an example of a 32 hit by a left side attacker. An example of an A attack with a 1-foot takeoff. A D, performed by a middle using a 1-foot takeoff known as a slide attack. Finally, a D performed by a right side attacker using conventional footwork. It is important that coaches make their setter work out a system. Here, the coach intentionally gives the setter passes to force the outer system sets. This drill is a ball control and conditioning drill. Setters are required to travel at speed over a short distance to improve their ability to move from back row to the net when running a 5-1 offense. In this drill, known as deep hit, there is only one setter setting both teams. A good conditioning drill that also works the setter in outer system situations and in setting back row players. Here, two balls are moved in triangles in front and behind the setter. Back row players switch lines after playing the ball. Timing of passes and good teamwork and communication are essential. Here, we see a clever variation of the previous drill. These drills can also be done with forearm passes, which can be more challenging for the setter. In this drill, the passer must always go for a hut. The other two players must fill in the remaining hitting positions through the middle and right side. First we will see the three possible combinations, and then finally the drill being run at speed. This is an excellent drill for helping both setter and hitters develop a variety of offensive patterns.